Welcome to Around the Peninsula. I'm Katuza Corporal Wian Joe. America recently celebrated one of history's greats. Yongsan service members and families gathered to honor his legacy.
His words inspired a nation. And his actions changed the course of American history.
Martin Luther King represents freedom, pride in culture, standing strong, for what you believe in. That's what we're on the front lines for freedom, standing strong, serving our people.
The Yongsan Garrison community gathered together to celebrate a man who at the young age of 26 had a dream.
In the military, this machine is driven by kind of young America as well. A lot of the young people on the battlefield in the last 10 years in both Iraq and Afghanistan, young people who were doing a lot of heavy lifting.
And while it was Dr. King's voice that was heard, it was the words of a nation that he spoke.
There are a lot of times when there are soldiers that feel like they don't have a voice. And so being able to turn to a leader to be able to say, hey, I need someone to speak on my behalf, and I think that's what Martin Luther King did.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is nationally celebrated to honor his legacy and remember his sacrifice.
It was a movement that compelled America to stand up. And he would remind young America to never forget the dream and the sacrifices that were made yesterday so that we could experience joy and hope and opportunity today.
Senior Airman Christiana Scott, Yongsan, Korea.
Martin Luther King Jr. Day was first observed on January 20th, 1986. Soldiers from 652 35th Air Defense Artillery Brigade participate in a very important part of their military career. Army Sergeant Sam DeLeon gives us the details of this event.
Soldiers from 652 35th ADA Brigade spend the week at Warrior Base going over basic soldiering skills from weapons qualification, reacting to an NBC attack, and counter-IED training.
Which is pretty cool because you just see the thing come out beside it.
Get it! We've done grenades, there's some sticks lanes. I personally haven't gone to, but I have the gas chamber tomorrow.
All right, here you go, execute.
I feel like the training today was awesome. The troops are motivated. Most of them never seen anything like this. They've never been through a CIED lane. They've never seen any of the training devices that we use, the simulators. So they're really excited, and I feel like they definitely learned a lot about CID.
The CIED lane is a quarter-mile-long trail with plenty of places to hide an IED. The purpose of the exercise is to keep the squad moving forward and stay alert for possible IEDs.
You need to check in your immediate area. Look at that. Wait by me. Done. Okay.
I've liked it a lot. It's stuff I don't do on a regular basis, so it's been some good training.
Army Sergeant Sam DeLeon, Yongsan, Korea.
You got it. Good job.
Around 400 soldiers qualified with their individual weapons and 200 qualified on the grenade range. Popular bands tend to focus on one type of music. Army Sergeant Edwin Pierce takes a look at one band who boogies to a lot of different beats.
Concert orchestra, jazz, funk, and rock are not a common music combination, but for the 3rd Marine Expeditionary Force Band, these styles and artists come together to make one unique harmonic sound.
This is probably have to be one of the top shows because I've never felt this excited for a show. Koreans are like a big family, and I want them to make our Marine Band their family as well. We got such a huge turnout and everything was so good and everyone played well. And I believe with such a small turnout and this big of a show, I think this was probably has got to be one of the best shows. It was amazing. It was mind-blowing. It was a lot better than I thought it would be. Like the crowd, just seeing the crowd just jump up and get into the music with us, because that's the whole point of why we're here. The MEF Band is here to show everyone that music is fun. Music can be sad, can be happy, it can bring out all these different emotions. And to see everyone so excited over just like one piece of music, it was still amazing. It turned out amazing. I'm so happy.
Reporting from Rock Marine Camp Pohang, I'm Army Sergeant Edwin Pierce.
This was the second time the band has visited Korea and excited for the next time they can visit and play again. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. influenced and rallied an entire generation advocating for civil rights. Army Sergeant Kelly Anderson tells us how he's still influencing the next generation on Camp Casey.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner for the essay is Miss Courtney Pope from Casey Elementary School.
After learning that his birthday is the same as her little sister's, 7-year-old Courtney Pope wrote an essay about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. for an essay contest in Area 1. And of course, Mom couldn't be more proud.
It makes me feel very proud.
She's so proud of her Camp Casey Elementary School second grader for a good reason.
My daughter, she wrote the essay, and she wrote certain pieces of it, and she asked me could I help her, so I sat down and helped her with some of it, but for the majority of the essay, she wrote it herself.
So how does a man that lived so long ago in a country that had very different views still influence her generation?
I never knew the world was separated until I read about Martin Luther King Jr. I can't imagine living in that world today. The world is much better because of him. I am able to go to school with many children, eat with them, play with them, sit with them, and learn with them.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream came true for this young American.
Black and whites can play together. He made the separation end.
Her mom is hopeful that her generation will continue on the path of Dr. Martin Luther King's vision. Army Sergeant Kelly Anderson, Camp Casey, Korea.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is the only non-president to have a national holiday dedicated in his honor, and is the only non-president memorialized on the Great Mall in Washington, D.C. What do a 4-star general and an 18-year-old high school student have in common? Specialist John Berry invites us to join in one of the long-standing traditions of the Scouts.
Reaching the rank of Eagle Scout is a great accomplishment for any Boy Scout. Attaining the required 21 merit badges takes time, dedication, and plenty of volunteer hours. They take the final step towards becoming a leader to their fellow Scouts. Celebrating 100 years of Eagle Scouting and tradition, the Scouts add 12 new Eagle Scouts to their roster.
I feel really great. It's been the end of a long journey, and of course it's the beginning of a new journey. It makes me feel like I have accomplished something, and that I've been a part of what's going to be an amazing family tradition. My dad gave me the nudge, and after that I really loved scouting.
But he wouldn't have been able to do it without support from his family.
I couldn't be more proud. This is a moment that I've waited for almost 18 years. And it's his achievement, it's not mine. And it's just, I don't have words to express how great it makes me feel.
And in my contacts with other people, to this I pledge my sacred honor.
Carrying on the family tradition, Specialist John Berry, Yongsan, Korea.
The Eagle Scouts celebrated their centennial this year, providing their new Eagle Scouts with a special badge to commemorate the event. Seasonal events mark a special time in many people's hearts, but one season in particular comes with serious consequences. Army Sergeant Jared Don visits a professional to get more details.
Sweater for me? Okay.
'Tis the season, and by that, I mean flu season. Influenza is on the rise in Korea.
The virus strain or subtype that we're seeing in the United States is primarily the H3N2 strain. Here in Korea, we're typically seeing, according to the Korean CDC, the 2009 H1N1 strain. Both of these strains are covered by the current influenza vaccination that we have available here in the United States and in the military facilities. It's interesting, we've seen 12 cases of influenza here since the 23rd of November. Just 6 of those cases were identified yesterday.
Vaccines are still available for those who want one. Army Sergeant Jared Don, Yongsan, Korea.
Getting vaccinated is the first and most important step in protecting against the flu. That was your Around the Peninsula for Thursday, January 24th. From all of us at AFN, enjoy your evening.
Don't put yourself in this situation. There is no excuse to drive drunk.
That captain just ruined his career.
Why didn't he just take a taxi?
Pay the tab. Take a cab.